What's up, family? Long time no see. I want to be doing this. I just want to clarify that. I want to be doing these YouTube videos. I just had so much stuff going on. There's some flippant spirits out there who do not want me talking. They don't like what I'm preaching. So today's video is on the topic of gratitude. Now, I've already discussed this on the channel, and that video got 8 views. So we're doing it again. For real though, never let it be said that I pander to the algorithm, because gratitude is very important, and I had an experience that I just want to share with you guys. So, I've been working a summer job full time. If I wasn't doing that, I'd be doing YouTube full time. But yeah, I just don't have as much time for YouTube as I'd like. But one of the things that happens sometimes is I meet people, right? And in particular, I met a homeless man. Now, there are plenty of homeless people where I live. It's a bit of an epidemic, actually. And a lot of them are just panhandlers, and they just sit around and beg for money, even though they're not actually homeless, or they just use it to, I don't know, buy weed or something. You know, it's kind of a problem. This guy was actually homeless, and so he just showed up one day, right? Went to the store, used their restroom, bought a couple things, and I just went outside to talk to him, right? And we had about 2 days of interacting, and I tried to help him out. I gave him some money, you know, just more or less sent him on his way. But I'll never forget, because I approached him, right, and he was outside, leaning up against, like, the stone thing. I don't know what to call it. It's like a sign. And I looked at him, and this is going to sound corny, but I saw myself in another life, and I gained a newfound appreciation for where I am at. And where I am at is not where I want to be. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not a big fan of where I live. You know, I've got, like, you know, there are plenty of things I could be complaining about. Plenty of things. But when I looked at him, I realized that could so easily be me. This was not an older guy, mind you. This guy was, I mean, he was pretty weathered, right, as that kind of lifestyle will do to you, but he couldn't have been more than like 6 years older than me, right? And just looking at it, I was like, man, this, you know, young man full of potential, full of life and everything, just for whatever reason, I don't know how he ended up in that situation, but for whatever reason, he just got absolutely ragdolled by life. That's a very eloquent way to put it, but and I just looked at it and I was like, wow, that could very easily be me, right? And given that I was at work, I also, you know, started to appreciate the work a little more, because it was the weekend, right? And, you know, you make small talk in a store, right? And you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? You having a good weekend? You know, that sort of thing. And a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm having a great weekend. How about you? Oh, well, you're working. Sorry. And my response that weekend changed, because I met that man. And I was like, you know what? Having a 9-to-5 is a blessing. It just is. Having a steady cash flow is a blessing, right? Because, again, I just met a guy who didn't. Right? And I'm sure he would have very much liked to have a 9-to-5. I did what I could for him, but I can't get him a job, unfortunately. But yeah, so I imagine a lot of people are very dissatisfied with where they're at right now. Especially, right, like, the economy is in a pretty rough state. But I'd also like a little bit of perspective. Like, despite the fact that, it's very expensive to live in America right now, we still maintain a standard of life that most of the world doesn't get. And yes, you have to work for it. Yes, you have to pay extra for it, but you need to recognize that you are ultimately blessed regardless, okay? You got a very lucky spawn, okay? Just accept that. I could so easily have ended up in flipping, well, now I'm blanking. Great point. I could have ended up in, like, Africa, like, the most remote, barren, war-torn part of Africa, right? I could have, but I didn't. God put me here, probably for this reason, to make a channel like this, but God put me here for a reason, right? And I'm grateful for it. Again, I'm not... There are a lot of other places I would rather be, but... I mean, hey, I'm working to get to that point. God willing, I could achieve it, but... It pays to be grateful, right? Like, look around you, right? You probably have a lot of stuff. I mean, you've got a phone that's probably, like, costs you like $500 to $1,000 maybe. You probably have some kind of personal computer or a gaming console. Maybe you have a car. You got like pop culture memorabilia. You get like Funko Pops and stuff. Like, you have so many frivolous just things, and frivolous might be the wrong word if they make you happy, but be grateful, because a lot of people out there just they aren't afforded that luxury, right? They're just not. And it's sad, but hopefully it's something that we can work to make better, maybe. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Yeah, it pays to be grateful, because your quality of life also increases, right? I can't remember if this was a study or not, but someone had like this group of people, and they would do like gratitude journals, right? So every day they would write down 3 things that they were thankful for. And what's funny is that those people had like they were happier than the group who did not do that. It was really weird, but anytime I'm grateful, right, I feel happier. I truly do. And I remember a couple months back, I was going through a bit of a rough patch, so I just took a walk and I listed the things that I was grateful for. And boy, did that list go on. Once you get started, it's actually hard to stop. And by the end of it, I felt extremely happy. Extremely happy. It was a great feeling. So, gratitude was something that I always struggled with. It was a combination of not being grateful and materialism in my younger years. It just, no matter what I got, it was never enough, right? And I would want something, and I would want something, and I would want something, and I'd finally get it, and it was time to want the next thing, right? Like, I wasn't grateful, and granted, there's still things I want, right? But it's important to be grateful for what you already have, because, like it or not, you're blessed. I mean, even just being here on this earth right now is a blessing. God did not have to wake you up this morning. He could have taken you up to those pearly gates ASAP. But you're here. Why are you here? And I don't mean that to be like offensive, but like, why are you here right now? What does God want you to do? He's got you here for a reason, right? This is why I've grown a lot less fearful in my time, right? Because I know that it's a weird kind of faith where I know that I can get away with some reckless things because I know God's not going to let him kill me, because I know he has work for me to do, right? So I can afford to be a little more daring, if that makes sense, right? And fear's something to overcome. Let me know if you guys want a video on that. It's not something I've managed to overcome per se, but it's something I've gotten a lot better at managing. And I know fear and anxiety is like a massive problem right now, especially for my generation, which is interesting considering that there have been generations who have been like born into a time of war or gone to multiple wars, right? And I don't think they had the same problems we did, but hey, that's something you can be grateful for. You are not at war right now, or at least I hope you're not. If you are, God bless, stay in that foxhole. But yeah, you are, for the most part, if you're watching this video, you're probably safe and sound, right? Be grateful for that, truthfully. So yeah, take some time today, look around you, figure out what you're thankful for. Because gratitude will change everything for you. That's the name of my last video, but yeah, that's about it for today. So I want to be a little more consistent. I'm shooting for 1 video a week. That's not a lot, but I am doing a full-time job, and man, it's killer, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I am grateful for it though. But excuse me. Yeah, we're shooting for 1 video a week, starting from whenever I get this edited and posted. And yeah, stay grateful. Have a great day.